Camp NaNoWriMo t-shirt. Hello YouTube! So one thing that you may or may not know about me is that in addition to being an avid reader, I'm also an aspiring writer. I've been writing for the longest time, ever since I was probably in my early teens. Maybe even earlier than that, but like, it picked up around that time. But within the past year or so, I've gotten pretty serious about trying to pursue my writing more. And last fall, one thing that I did for that is I participated in NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. I did successfully hit 50,000 words for that, which is the goal. I didn't finish the novel during that month because it ended up being longer than that, which is not unexpected. But it's finished now and it's sitting in draft form, and I'm just waiting a little bit to go back and try to edit it. But in the meantime, I really enjoyed the fast drafting process and writing large amounts of my story every single day. So what I decided to do was to do Camp NaNoWriMo this July. For this one, I did it a little bit differently. Instead of writing a novel, I wrote a series of short stories. A couple of them didn't really want to stay short stories, and so I have novel-length or novella projects to look at pursuing in the future. But the goal was 50,000, and I actually ended up writing 60,000 words worth of short stories this month. I'm actually filming this on the 27th, so there's still a couple more days, but I'm already at 60,000 words, so I think that I can say this was a success, at least as far as, getting the creativity flowing and coming up with ideas and making myself write, making myself develop a habit of writing each day. One thing that was a little bit different this time than last November is that last November I was working a full-time job, and right now I actually am not. I ended up leaving the job that I had back then for personal reasons, but primarily to be closer to family, and I'm still looking for a full-time opportunity that is in the area that I want to be in. But it was very different balancing a full-time 40-hour-a-week commitment with set hours and everything with the writing, as opposed to balancing things that, while they do definitely require a time commitment, are a little bit more flexible as far as creating a schedule. So I was able to do more of what I prefer to do when I write, which is to write in short segments multiple times a day, as opposed to trying to do it all in a longer, like hour-long session. I did that last time as well, but it was just much easier to balance this time. However, I did find that I had to have really, really good time management in order to not let myself just get totally distracted. Because while I didn't have a full-time job while I was doing this, I had YouTube videos to make, I'm blogging, I have a Redbubble store, I'm obviously in the process of job searching. It's like instead of having one major commitment to work around, there were a lot of smaller ones. And I did find that I was able to make that work, but it was just a very different experience. So what's the plan now? Obviously, I've been doing a lot of writing. You're probably thinking, like, what are you going to do with all of that writing? What's the purpose of it? Well, the novel that I wrote for National Novel Writing Month last year, I'm actually really excited about, and I finished it around the spring, because obviously I worked much more slowly once I finished the fast writing challenge thing, and I'm kind of letting it sit for a bit to make sure that I look at it with a fresh pair of eyes when I go in to edit, but I definitely do plan on editing that and pursuing publication opportunities. And the short stories that I wrote this time, again, I'm going to let them sit for a bit, come back to them with a pair of fresh eyes, because I think that that is always important. And I would highly recommend doing that for any writing that you do, whether it's, a paper for school or a creative project or whatever it may be. Even like emails, I like to let sit for half an hour or so before I send them and just review them and make sure that I don't have any egregious typos or really weirdly worded stuff, because I do find that that helps a lot. But basically, I really hope that y'all are going to be seeing some writing from me in the hopefully not too awfully distant future, because that has always been a dream of mine, to write and to share my writing with other people. So, fingers crossed. Anyway. And in addition to that, like I said, I had a couple of ideas emerge from this month's project that I'm really thinking I can't do them justice in a short story. And so I'm going to be following up on those in the months to come. And I'm going to be looking at what can I do with this? Like, does it need to be a novel? And do I want to commit to writing this as a novel? Am I that excited about it? So we'll just see where that goes. But as far as my main goal for this month was to explore different ideas that I had and see what worked. And I think that it was definitely a success in that way. Oh, and of course, I want to show you my Camp NaNoWriMo t-shirt. Alright, before I go, just a quick reminder that I post videos twice a week, so if you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe.